Welcome to eMBN. Today we're going to talk about the ways of making buying an eMTB slightly more cost effective, because we know cost is still a major barrier. Buying a e-mountain bike is not a purchase to take lightly. There's so much variation in the products and bikes, and also there's the price of them too. If you're looking to buy, there's a few things to consider if buying the bike is going to stretch your budget. Admittedly, some will be quite obvious, but others you may not have thought of. So let's dive in and have a look. There's a variety of different schemes across the world, and they will offer some savings. Often they're government initiatives set up to get more people on bikes. They're often set up through salary sacrifice, so it means that you won't pay tax on your e-bike or the bike that you decide to purchase, and they're a great way of saving money and getting a new e-bike. In the UK, we've got a couple of different schemes. We've got the well-titled Cycle scheme, we've got Green Commute, and we've also got Bike to Work, as well as some schemes run by larger retailers. Now, in Europe, it's a similar picture, with the Netherlands, Belgium, and France all running tax-free allowance schemes where you can buy a bike without paying tax on it. In the US, several states have got bike commuter benefit programs, which offer a similar tax-free allowance. I think the key thing here with all the different countries is to look where you are at the schemes that are available. Just be mindful this isn't a foolproof way to afford a new e-bike. Why? Because different schemes have got different criteria. Some of those will be set by the actual scheme itself, and some will be set by your employer. So the scheme related ones, some of them have caveats where you have to commute in a certain amount. So you can't just get the raddest e-bike out there, because you might actually have to commute in. The other side of the conversation is with your employer. So those factors will be how much you earn, because some of the schemes are based on that, and some employers actually set limits to how much bike you can buy on their scheme. So yeah, check with your scheme and check with your employer about what options you've got. If scheming through a cycle scheme to get your new eMTB isn't the way forward, don't worry, there's still other ways to get an affordable eMTB. Oh, one last thing. Of course, we're in the modern era now, and there's an app for pretty much everything. So there's lots of price tracking apps which you can use, put in the bikes that you're lusting after, and you'll get a notification when the price changes. It's a great way to bag that deal. This is one option that we feel many of you may not consider, and that's because, well, rightly, you probably want a warranty with your eMTB. But things are changing, and often warranties are becoming transferable to second owners. It's an effort from some of the bigger brands to become more sustainable. For example, two of the bigger players in the market, Specialized and Giant, are now offering more support for their eMTBs to second owners. It does come with some caveats though. So you'll need the original receipt, and the first owner will not have modified the bike in any way. So no deed restrictions or any behavior that would void the warranty. Of course, warranties will be different depending on where you are, so do your homework on warranties. Buying a second-hand or refurbished bike, you still need to do a little bit of detective work. Why, you ask? Well, an analogy would be a bit like buying a second-hand car. You need to look at the service logbook, you need to see how many intervals of the service it's been through, and you need to know what type of rider that first rider was. Was he rallying the bike around, or was he just gently roaming around the countryside? Hopefully in the future there'll be an app that all eMTBs use to give us a good idea on service intervals and service logs for this bike. But up until now, we'll just have to do a bit of detective work. Buying a refurbished bike is still an option. They're harder to find though, but search local bike shops or local bike brand distributors. They may have ex-demo ones. If you're in the US or Canada, then the Pros Closet specialises in selling restored and freshly serviced pre-loved bikes. They do eMTBs as well, so they're well worth looking at. In the UK, we've got WeBuyCycle. Clever name, like what you've done there. Do a similar service. They also offer a 3-month warranty on the bikes that they're selling. Another option is to convert your current non-eMTB MTB to become an eMTB. There's lots of kits out there, but please do your homework to make sure that it's legal and safe. Bafang do a lot of different kit options, and I've seen some great upgrades to bikes to make them eMTBs. We'd only recommend this one for those that can afford it, but finance is a great way, and it might be the most common way that most of you have got your bikes already. Do shop around, do make sure you read the small print, because yeah, buying stuff on finance can have repercussions for your credit rating and other impacts, including maybe losing a car loan or not being able to get a loan for something else. So do your homework. But it is quite simple. Canyon, for example, have got a dedicated section of their website where they've got all the details on how you can finance one of their bikes. Of course, your local bike shop will also have a finance setup where you can get finance on the more expensive eMTBs that are out there. But again, it's worth stressing, eMTB is great fun, but don't get into hock too far. So please read the small print and make sure that you can afford it. To summarise, there's lots of options to make eMTB more affordable. You will have to do some homework, you will have to hunt around for bargains, but it is possible without selling a kidney. But we really like your feedback. We really want to know how you've made eMTB more affordable. So please tell us, put it in the comments below.